That only happens when you have vision. And she got some information that didn't set right with her vision, that she began to find the solutions possible that meant that I got to get this. I thought I was going to get another year. I got to get this thing done now in 3 years. What's up? How you doing? Welcome back to A Moment in Time with yours truly, Aaron Thomason. I'm super excited that you're with me, but I'm curious. Like it? Share it? Did you give this away to somebody? Did you bring somebody with you? All right. So let's jump into this. Let's dig a little deeper into a recent video where I talked about having vision. And remember, many people have sight, but not everyone has vision. All right. And why was vision important? Because vision in the imagination and in the faith of believing that there's a reality in your mind that you could ultimately live in takes you to get some peace, to get some silence, and to be able to figure out the details of the emotions and all the things that go along with what's in here so it can be something you live out here. All right. Now, you might have felt I was a little excited or pumped up about it. And I got two stories. Actually, they're not even mine, right? They're not even mine. But I want to talk about two people in particular that I've watched them or heard the stories that they had. And they talked about having vision that ultimately allowed for them to live in the reality. All right. First one, I got to bring it close to home. My mom, right? Now, Mom went to University of Michigan. If you're Spartan, don't hate. If you go to Ohio State, don't hate. That's not the point of the story, right? My mom went to the University of Michigan, right? And she did something that I'm still confused on how it happened. She graduated in 3 years from the University of Michigan. All right, I want that to set in. She graduated in 3 years from the University of Michigan. That cannot happen if you just going on your site. That only happens when you have vision. And she got some information that didn't set right with her vision, that she began to find the solutions possible that meant that I got to get this. I thought I was going to get another year. I got to get this thing done now in 3 years. So what had to happen? See, the thing that has to happen when you have vision, when your mind has already seen this as a foregone conclusion, what then you do in your reality before you bring it to fruition, what you begin to do is find solutions. You begin to find a way. You don't see obstacles, you see opportunities. And so my mom saw opportunities to go to summer school, opportunities to load up in semesters, that whether it was 18 to 23 to 25, I think it was 28 credits or something crazy one semester, it didn't matter, because the vision that's in here that has now been activated by 4 billion neurons in her brain now has to become a reality. Saying no and turning around without accomplishing the goal that I've been living, I've been dreaming, that I've been seeing, it is absolutely impossible. The failure is not an option. And guess what? She graduated 3 years from the University of Michigan. But it doesn't happen without vision. Next person I want to talk about is my sister. My sister, you know, she has no problem with me telling her little business, is that got pregnant when she was in high school, but she had a vision, right? That even at 16, being pregnant, she had a vision of being a college graduate, of not letting her pregnancy young define her, to allow for her to aspire to heights that now she's what? She's a vice president. Big deal. But there were moments when it was tough. I walked alongside of her for some of them. And some of her story I still don't even know. There were moments it was tough. There were moments where there was some loneliness. There were some moments when there was some doubt. But she couldn't let go what she saw in here. When she closed her eyes, she saw it. She could taste it. She could feel it. She could see it. And she wouldn't let it go. Yes, there were hours that my nephew was probably crying and acting a nut because he was a toddler, he was an infant, whatever it was, and she had to go to class and get these grades and make these things happen. But guess what? Even in the midst of the frustrations and trying to figure everything out, the vision, the imagination that she had seen in her mind would not let her stop in the midst of the process. Wouldn't let her stop. Would not let her stop, because she knew on the other side of this, if she kept pressing, if she kept moving into the space in which she saw only residing in her mind, would soon become the reality for the life that she always wanted to live. You got to have some vision. Yes, you know who you are. Yes, you know where you are, but you got to know where you're going. Got to. And if you don't have vision, then you'll continue to keep spinning your wheels in place, continue to be frustrated, continue to have these things and this angst in your spirit where you feel like there needs to be more and you can't do more because you're not clear on where you need to go. So here's what I want you to be able to do. I want you to take some time this week, and I need you to get some clarity on that. And it's not just about that. I need you to get your hopes up again. Yep. Because we talked about it in a previous video that it might be the trauma, it might be the disappointment, it might be the stress that you can't even see getting your hopes up to think about something past the current moment you're in. I'm gonna ask you to do it anyway. Because guess what? I know that you're sitting in a space right now where you can't feel comfortable being where you are. You've tried. You've tried to just be okay, just chilling out and trying to use the Bible or whatever you believe. I'm just so grateful. And so many things have happened, and you try to reflect on the world and see that people are unfortunate, less fortunate to you, and you trying to be okay and comfortable, to be content and complacent in the space where you are, and you can't get no peace. Yeah, that's because you're not willing to get your hopes up. I need you to get your hopes up, because like my mom, you could have been disappointed with the news that she got and said, man, I'm not going to be able to accomplish my goal. Or you see this as an opportunity to do something that had never been done in her family. You could have been like my sister, who could take the condemnation because we were church kids that, oh my goodness, that this happened to me and it wasn't supposed to happen. Or you could see, I'm getting ready to do something that ain't never been done. I'm getting ready to still have a future in which I can be an example to my family, to my son, and to those around me for what you can do when you trust in God, you see the vision, and you don't quit. I'm getting somebody. I need somebody to tell me this week who I'm talking to, because somebody needs to get back up for the fight one more time. Get back up for the fight one more time. Yep. Be clear in the vision, because when you can see that vision, though you might not have all the details on how it's going to happen, you know what it feels like and what it looks like when it does. And that is enough for you to start on the path and be confident that it is a foregone conclusion that you're going to be where you are. That is what I want you to do. That is what I want you to settle in. I want you to take the inspiration of those two stories, get your hopes up. Get clarity on your vision. And when you get clarity on your vision, you will have the confidence necessary to achieve everything that you've only seen in here, but ultimately you're going to bring it out here. And it'd be something that inspires those, that they can tell stories for years and years about how you saw it first in your head, how you had the vision, but then you worked to make it a reality. I'm excited. I'm super excited to hear the stories, the testimonies, the overcoming, all the inspiration of people that are saying, right now I see this, but I'm not 100% sure on how it's going to happen, but I know where I'm going and I'm about to take the first step in that direction. I'm applauding. I'm excited, because I know for you to get to that conclusion in that step, in that moment, to take the first step, to get it clear in your head and take one step in that direction, that took a lot. And I want you to keep going, because you can do it. It can get done, but you got to have a little faith. You got to have a little imagination, and you got to have a little courage to just take the next step, get your hopes up, and watch what happens.